between Ronda Rousey and Cat Zingano? No. Cat Zingano just had a very impressive performance over the weekend. Definitely one of the bigger wins in her career. It wasn't a flawless performance. It was a good one. Cat Zingano's no joke. It was a good one for sure. Not a flawless performance. So, who do I favor between Cat Zingano and Ronda Rousey? Now, with that said, in light of Cat Zingano's win over Amanda Nunes, I think that Ronda Rousey slaughters Cat Zingano. No disrespect to Cat Zingano. I am a huge fan of her. But I basically view Cat Zingano as a slightly lesser version of Miesha Tate. Now, Miesha Tate is a great fighter. Cat Zingano did defeat Miesha Tate, but if you rewatch that fight, which was a good one, I urge you, if you haven't seen already, to watch it. It was a fantastic fight. Miesha Tate was beating up Cat Zingano, taking her to the woodshed for over 2 rounds until Cat Zingano caught Miesha Tate with the knees and finished her in what I would say was a questionable stoppage. Not the biggest fan of Amy Winslow as a referee, but that's neither here nor there. Just not the type of fight you want to see out of someone that's going to perhaps fight Ronda Rousey someday. Now, that fight was a long time ago, and I don't want to just judge her off of that. The fight versus Amanda Nunes didn't really raise her stock that much higher than it already was. And against a fighter such as Ronda Rousey, I don't feel as though Cat Zingano has any advantages over Ronda Rousey that Miesha Tate didn't have. Now, I would say that she's a very slightly stronger fighter than Miesha Tate in the clinch, but that is Ronda Rousey's wheelhouse. That is not a place where you want to be if you're fighting Ronda Rousey. If she goes in the clinch with Ronda Rousey, she's going to take some frequent flyer miles and end up falling flat on her face and get armbarred. Now, Cat Zingano is, as I said before, a very, very good fighter, and it's hard to not be a big fan of someone such as Cat Zingano. She's gone through some major setbacks, some trials and tribulations. She recently lost a husband due to suicide. She's also recovering from ACL surgery, torn ACL in her knee. It would be amazing if she could be a comeback fighter, take on Ronda Rousey and beat her. It could happen via knockout. I'm not saying that crazier things haven't happened. I just don't think it's going to happen personally. Ronda Rousey is just too good. Her stand-up is improving so much. Her grappling game is just too strong. As she proved in her fight against Miesha Tate, she isn't just a single-dimensional grappler either. Off of her back, she's got very potent offense as well. Against Cat Zingano, who I would say has got some very good ground and pound, and as someone I don't even think is going to be able to land in top position against Ronda Rousey, I just don't see a very high likelihood of her defeating Ronda Rousey. But it should be said, the areas which I briefly mentioned she does perhaps hold a slight advantage of is she's very offensive from the clinch. She'll land some knees, some close quarter elbows. Could she do that against Ronda Rousey? Sure. Ronda Rousey, maybe if she busts her up with some hands, then enters the clinch, roughs her up with some knees, that is a very tall task to order right there. I just don't see it happening. That fight happens, I basically see Ronda Rousey beating Cat Zingano on the ground. I don't even think she keeps the fight standing. She doesn't have to. Sends her some, throws her on her head, probably sets up her patented armbar, or I don't know, maybe another submission. Ronda Rousey has shown a slight shortcoming on the ground. She does make some mistakes. I'm not an expert on the ground. I'm just saying from a fan's perspective. She's given up her back. She's been damn near choked out, damn near neck cranked. So it wouldn't be beyond the pale for this upset to happen, given the strengths of Cat Zingano. I just don't feel a reason on why she would be the favorite, given Miesha Tate's lack of success against Ronda Rousey.